Check 4.
Check 4. Check 6.
Yep. Check 1 as a check.
Check 1.
Yep.
Check 1. Check 1.
You hear yourself?
I can hear myself on the left side. It's a bit muffled on that right side.
Sounds good.
Check 1. Check 1. Check 2. Still getting a bit of... Oh, there we go. It's perfect.
Okay.
All right. Sound check complete.
I'll just turn it down here.
It's Sunday, and you know what that means. Welcome inside the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex as we get set for this afternoon's BC Junior A Lacrosse League matchup featuring the visiting Nanaimo Timbermen and your Coquitlam Adanacs. Welcome back to Junior Adanac TV, powered by our friends at Trickshot. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse. Jagaraj Lully with the call once again here from the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex, joined by Theo in the producer chair, Matthew up on camera. Appreciate everyone spending their Sunday afternoon here with us following a big win by the Canadian men's national team to advance to the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup. Coquitlam Adanacs looking for that same magic to try and break out of a tough losing game that they lost on Friday against the Poco Saints. Looking to bounce back from that. Coquitlam stands in as one of the league's top teams, 9-2-1 record. They have a plus 24 goal differential. They average about 9.5 goals per game. Nanaimo sitting at a record of 2-11, but they're coming off a big win against the New West Salmon Bellies in their last game yesterday. In that last game yesterday, Nanaimo showed tremendous resilience. They battled back from a 6-3 deficit in the second period before taking a 7-6 lead. They overcame another 9-7 deficit in the third with 3 unanswered goals to take the win. Reed Johnson had 5 points, Jaden Thomas 5 points, Connor Nanowski had 4 points, Tyson Fontemla had 4 points. Those 4 combined for 18 points. They factored in on 9 of Nanaimo's 10 goals. Nanowski had the game-winning goal late in regulation. Trailing 9-7 midway through the third, Nanaimo received a power play goal from Fontemla before Reed Johnson tied the game with just over 4 minutes remaining. Nanowski completed the comeback with a minute and 13 left in the frame. Nanaimo capitalized on both of its power play opportunities, finishing 2 for 2 with a man advantage. Those special teams goals provided pivotal in keeping the Timbermen within striking distance before their late rally. Meanwhile, for the Coquitlam Adanacs, it was a 12-6 loss at the hands of the Port Coquitlam Saints, a game in which Coquitlam was led by Kai Hartley, who had a hat trick. He scored 3 of the Adanacs' 6 goals. Matty Dane had 2 points. George Caldroni had 2 points. Henrik Lucas added a goal as well. Parker Kennedy with 2 assists. Coquitlam was trailing just 3-1 entering the second period of play. They battled twice within striking distance, cutting the deficit to 4-3 and later 8-5. However, Poco's offense erupted for 7 second-period goals, creating a gap the Adanacs could not overcome. Coquitlam special teams produced consecutive power play goals from Matty Dane and Kai Hartley less than 30 seconds apart, capitalizing on a major penalty to briefly swing momentum back in Coquitlam's favor. Coquitlam actually outshot Poco 56-46, a 21-15 edge in the second period as well, but they were unable to match Poco's finishing efficiency. Of course, Poco acquiring lots of great assets in that middle frame, or in that last week or so, I should say. And for Coquitlam, they actually were not able to match the efforts of Oscar Lucas, Jared Masnick, and all these new additions. For Coquitlam, they generated enough offense to stay competitive. They surrendered 12 goals, allowing Poco to capitalize repeatedly in transition, and that proved to be the difference. The Adanacs are going to look for a more complete defensive effort heading into their matchup with Nanaimo. Taking a look at these two teams coming into tonight, Nanaimo sitting averaging 6.1 goals per game. The power play has been a bright spot, 34.5% success rate. That is 4th in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. Meanwhile, the Coquitlam Adanacs are coming in, looking to rebound from a tough loss to Poco. They remain one of the league's most dangerous offensive teams, averaging 9.5 goals per game, a plus 24 goal differential, and a power play at 39.6%, the league's best power play. Although the penalty kill has struggled at 48.5%, that is the lowest in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League, so a tale of 2 halves there for both of these, both the power play and the penalty kill for the Coquitlam Adanacs. With that, it's time now for my 3 keys to the game for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Key number 1 is to keep Tyson Fontenla off the score sheet. Everything Nanaimo does offensively starts with Tyson Fontenla, who ranks tied for 5th in the BC Junior Lacrosse League with 22 goals. He's coming off a 3-goal, 4-point performance against New West. Coquitlam did a solid job limiting him in the first meeting until late in the third, but containing Nanaimo's leading scorer and forcing secondary players to beat them will be a major priority. Key number 2, turn shot volume into goals. The Adanacs are averaging 9.5 goals per game, but despite firing 56 shots against Poco in their last outing, they managed just 6 goals. They also outshot Nanaimo 52-34 in their first meeting. So Coquitlam has consistently generated those opportunities. Tonight, the key is going to be finishing those chances against Nanaimo's goaltending and avoiding another night where strong offensive pressure does not translate onto the scoreboard, similar to the performance they had on Friday. Key number 3 is going to be to win the special teams battle. The matchup features 2 dangerous power plays. With both of these teams, Coquitlam has the league's best power play, at 39.6%. Nanaimo sitting in 4th place. However, both penalty kills have struggled a bit. As the Coquitlam, I talked about it, near 49%. Nanaimo near 58%. The first time these two teams met, it was a 1-goal overtime win for the Coquitlam Adanacs, so capitalizing on man advantage opportunities and staying disciplined defensively could easily be the difference tonight for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Those were your 3 keys to the game. With that, we shall head to floor level for the national anthem before getting opening face-off set here at the Palace on Poirier. It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV. Let's have a look at tonight's this afternoon's starting netminders. First for the visiting Nanaimo Timbermen. Starting in goal, by the looks of it, it is going to be number 1, Jay Stewart. He's handled the bulk of Nanaimo's workload this season, appearing in over 466 minutes. He has a .819 save percentage, which is the best among the Timbermen goaltenders, and he's going to be relied upon heavily against Coquitlam's high-volume offense. Meanwhile, for the Coquitlam Adanacs, starting in goal, it is going to be number 33, Owen Byers, by the looks of it, who will return to the crease. I will double check, though. Yes, it will be Owen Byers getting the start. He's been Coquitlam's clear starter, backstopping the Adanacs to an impressive 8-2-1 record, a 6.66 goals against average, as he ranks among the league's better marks. Of course, Owen Byers' record coming into this one, 8-1-1. The Adanacs sitting at a 9-2-1 record. So for Owen Byers, he has a 6.6 goals against average, and he gives Coquitlam confidence between the pipes each and every game. Off and underway are we here at the Palace on Poirier, as Coquitlam will be going from right to left on your screens, wearing the white jerseys. Nanaimo the opposite direction, left to right, wearing the black jerseys with the red trim. We'll talk about some of Coquitlam's recent trade acquisitions in just a bit, as for now, Xander Freeman has possession at the far side. He'll try and feed it over to Parker Kennedy. Adanacs controlling near the goal line, as the ball will end up back to the far corner. Here's Parker Kennedy, picks it up. A shot, Chalmers, and that ends up wide of the goal. The ball will come back here into the hands of Owen Eckert momentarily. Eckert now picks up the ball. Eckert has possession. He'll move down the near side. Owen Eckert, extra pass, moves the ball up ahead to Matty Dane. Dane goes now to the far side. Pass gets through there for Ethan Gordon, one of the new acquisitions. Gordon in front, and a save there made. Rebound by Matty Dane, and Jay Stewart left that one out of the net as well. Good start here for the Adanacs. Shots 2-0 for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Bringing the ball down the floor here. Coming down the near side, a chance as the ball will end up back out now to the far corner. Lots of call-ups here for this Nanaimo Timbermen team tonight, as we'll get into them in just a bit as well. Adanacs will recollect, heading down the floor. Kyan Barar sets a screen, shot, scores! The Adanacs strike first, 1 minute and 27 seconds in, and that is the start that Pat Coyle wanted for his team. It's going to be Owen Eckert finding the back of the net. A quick strike down the middle. As you'll take a look at the replay once again, Kyan Barar sets a beautiful screen. Owen Eckert falling down is able to find the back of the net, beating netminder Jay Stewart there. And it is 1-0 Coquitlam. So after that great start, the opening goal of the game scored by Owen Eckert. It is now 1-0, the lead for the Coquitlam Adanacs. As the ball is moved down the floor, ends up out to the far side. Parker Kennedy, far corner. Ball's dropped back up top. Archbold, George Caldroni with a stutter step. Caldroni, backdoor pass. Couldn't connect with Kai Hartley. The ball's picked up by Ethan Gordon. He lost it. Back comes the Nanaimo offense, heading down the other way. As the ball will head down the floor, Gunderson picks it up. Gunderson moves it back to Rylan Mon. Mon drops down the near side. Started the season playing B1 and then moved up to Junior A as Johnson drops it off far side. Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary back to the near wall. Here's Thomas. Thomas gets away from the oncoming Coquitlam pressure, courtesy of Jordan Reed. Rylan Mon goes low. He scores. Rylan Mon with a low shot there, and that beats Owen Byers on his first shot against. And Nanaimo has tied the game at 1. Good ball movement there, as able to move the ball up ahead was Jaden Thomas, finding Rylan Mon in tight. No mistake made by Rylan Mon. And the Nanaimo Timbermen respond to the Coquitlam's opening goal with a goal of their own. Rylan Mon's tied the game at 1. Back to live action off the face-off. Owen Eckert. Loose ball is sent down to Sam Charbonneau. Ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Kyan Barar. Of course, that'll be Rylan Mon's 5th goal of the year, up to 9 points now at the Junior A level with the Timbermen. Nate Chalmers heads down the floor. Chalmers hands it off. Ball ends up now to the far side. Xander Freeman for Parker Kennedy. Cross floor, Matty Dane. Dane goes downhill, takes a spin to his left. Matty Dane gets free. Good pass in front, and Chalmers couldn't bury it home. The ball will be deflected out of play. It's going to stay Nanaimo, or check that, Coquitlam Adanacs ball. Parker Kennedy, far side. As the pass gets through, out down to the near wall. Matty Dane in tight, and that give and go could not be completed. Back come the Timbermen downhill. Here's a chance for Thomas Young. One-on-one. Young shoots, scores! Thomas Young goes downhill, gets loose on the breakaway, and the Timbermen have taken their first lead of the game. And as you can see, Young gets wide open. No defense in front to support Owen Byers. And Thomas Young gives Nanaimo the lead. And for this Nanaimo team that's only won 2 games this season, a massive confidence booster for Ty Yanko's squad. Able to get the lead here early in the first. So for Thomas Young, that's going to be his first career BC Junior A Lacrosse League goal. Congratulations to him. Lalonde will get the ball back here for Coquitlam. Liam Lalonde now down the near side, hands it off to George Caldroni. Caldroni off the screen. Caldroni will take, blocked in front. Shot clock at 13 for the Adanacs. Kai Hartley, Parker Kennedy back for Archbold. He'll take, and that shot is stopped away by Jay Stewart. The Timbermen will head back down the floor as the ball is currently in the hands of AJ Garcia, one of the call-ups for the Timbermen tonight. Garcia for Thomas. Thomas ends up sending the ball across floor. Pass gets through, back for Thomas down the near side. Thomas, cross floor. Here's Johnson at the left. Johnson gets around the Coquitlam pressure. Now to the near wall for Thomas. Thomas looking for his second. Johnson, just as the shot clock expired, the ball stopped away by Owen Byers. Possessions recollected here by Alec McNamara as he'll look to make his way up the floor. McNamara hands that one off down the near side. Here's Nate Chalmers. Chalmers at the half wall. Sends it across. Kai Hartley downhill. Sends it back to the goal line. Give and go to Nate Chalmers. That's intercepted. For the Timbermen, Gavin Gunderson, captain Nanaimo, comes back down the floor, crosses the center floor line. Nanaimo currently protecting a 2-1 lead as we've almost elapsed 5 minutes here in this opening frame. Nanowski, one of the call-ups here for the Timbermen, hands the ball off to the far side. Johnson drops that one back to the left. Here's Daniel O'Leary. Now to Connor Nanowski. Nanowski back in front. A shot. And Rylan Mond's shot stopped away by Owen Byers. Back come the Adanacs in transition with numbers. Here's Jordan Reed. Off the screen by Barra. Reed to the front of the net, and the pass could not be completed to Parker Kennedy. Loose ball collected by Maxwell Tyre of the Nanaimo Timbermen. Here's Hall working down the near side. Hall to Thomas. As Nanaimo's working in the offensive end of the floor. Thomas, cross floor, gets the pass across. As possession comes back to the left. A shot there, and Tyson Fontenla's shot is wide of the goal. Fontenla coming into this one, now the leading scorer for the Nanaimo Timbermen, 38 points in 13 games played, as he embraces the role of being Nanaimo's offensive engine. Here's Ethan Gordon, one of the new acquisitions from Nanaimo, playing his former team. Pass ends up across the floor, downhill. A chance for Gordon, stopped away by Jay Stewart. As the Timbermen will head back up the floor, shot 6-4 in favor of Coquitlam. What a defensive play there, as Coquitlam is able to force the turnover. The ball unable to be kept alive by Jack Anderson. Matty Dane with a great play there using his stick. And the Adanacs will get back on offense. Here's Parker Kennedy, far side. Kennedy hands the ball off, ends up top. Freeman a drive, partially blocked in front. It's going to go off an Adanac's body and out of play. No, the referee changes their decision. The back official had a different call than the near official. Caldroni, left side. George Caldroni will take, and that's stopped away by Jay Stewart. Back come Nanaimo in transition. Here's Hall down the floor. Hall goes on in. He'll shoot, stopped by Owen Byers. Great pad save by the Adanacs netminder. Jordan Reed will get the ball from his goaltender as Captain Coquitlam moves up the floor. Reed hands it off now to the near side. Here's Nate Chalmers. Chalmers walks in. A shot stopped away by goaltender Jay Stewart. Ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Matty Dane. Dane up top to the left. Henrik Lucas works off the screen. Lucas now to the far side as Ethan Gordon gets it through to Parker Kennedy. Lucas could not pick up the ball. Matty Dane, cross for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy stutter steps, moves downhill into traffic, and the ball is misplayed. The Adanacs unable to connect on the passes there, and it is going to be Nanaimo ball. So a couple of miscommunication issues here early on in the first period for Coquitlam as Nanaimo is up 2-1. The ball is now back here into the hands of Rylan Mon. He'll send it cross floor for Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary moves up to Nanowski. Nanowski up top, fakes, gets the pass across, now to Tyson Fontenla. Up top, Johnson walks in. A shot blocked in front as Reed Johnson's shot was blocked. Fontenla on the rebound left it wide. And now the Adanacs will pick up the loose ball. They'll head back down the floor. Moving on in, here's Keenan DeWitt. DeWitt, a shot, and that ends up wide of the goal. Seems like we finally got the lighting figured out here at the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex. All lights are back on here. I figured it was a bit dark. Thomas moves it back out now to the far side. Pass gets through now to the far corner. As the ball will end up now down the near side to Thomas. Here is Reed. Reed will head back across the center floor line. Jordan Reed, captain Coquitlam. Reed up top. Nate Chalmers up top. He'll take a pad save by Jay Stewart. That goes off the Nanaimo netminder. Hence no over and back called. Goaltender Owen Byers comes well out of his crease to collect the ball. He'll send it up the floor. George Caldroni will pick up the ball down the near side. Caldroni, cross floor, gets it on in. A shot, and Ethan Gordon unable to capitalize there. The ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Hall. He'll move it up the floor. Rylan Mon, near side. Mon works towards the goal line. He'll take a spin now to the near corner. Nanowski, cross floor. As Fontenla will drop it back for O'Leary. Here's Daniel O'Leary at the far side half wall. Fontenla still has it. 3 seconds to shoot. Tyson Fontenla has to take, then the low shot is stopped away by Owen Byers. Adanacs netminder will move it up the floor. Here's Alec McNamara. Hands the ball off. Nate Chalmers, near side. To Matty Dane, back for Chalmers. Here's Archbold, cross floor. Parker Kennedy downhill. A shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. Adanacs pick up the loose rebound. Miles Archbold will leave it up top for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers for Archbold. Archbold for Chalmers. Back and forth they go. It's Chalmers for Kennedy. Back for Nate Chalmers. Up top, he'll fire, and that's wide of the goal. Nanaimo is able to control the loose rebound. Jay Stewart will drop it all the way across the floor. Picked up here by AJ Garcia. Garcia, one of the call-ups here for the Nanaimo Timbermen. Johnson, far side. Drops it out to the near side for Thomas. Thomas stutter steps. Thomas will take a pad save there made by the Adanacs netminder Owen Byers. Ball's recollected by Johnson. Now to the far side corner. He'll try the dunk shot. Oh, a heavy check there behind the Adanacs net. Play will continue on for now. Jordan Reed down to the near side for Lucas. As the loose ball's collected up, Jack Olson picks up the ball. He'll drop it down to the near side for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers gets the ball across to Kennedy. Now to the far corner. Up top, Caldroni behind the back. Unable to get that to go. The ball will come back now down the near side. As heading down the floor will be Jack Anderson. Anderson for Gunderson. Gunderson goes cross floor. As the ball will come back through now to the far side half wall. Nanowski will pick it up. Nanowski walks in, steps through. Nanowski, cross floor. Here's a chance for Fontenla, and that was partially blocked in front. Charbonneau goes to pick up the ball. Eckert instead will pick up the loose ball. Eckert tries to get it back down the near side. Here's Alec McNamara. McNamara lead feed. Freeman left it wide of the far post. Gunderson goes down to the far corner to collect the ball. 2-1 the score. 8:47 to go in the first here between the Adanacs and the Timbermen. Nanaimo leads Coquitlam. The ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Rylan Mon. Steps through. Mon. Cross floor. Gets the pass across to Thomas. He'll move it down to the half wall. Reed Johnson. Up top. Johnson works around the pressure. Johnson, a low shot. Stopped away by Byers. And now Coquitlam looking to head back down the floor. Here's Alec McNamara coming down the near side. McNamara downhill. Up top, he'll take. That's off the end wall. Rebound collected by AJ Garcia of the Timbermen as he'll head across the center floor line. Garcia, call up from Nanaimo's B1 team. Hall hands the ball off to Connor Nanowski. Nanowski moves cross floor. Daniel O'Leary back now to the near side. As the ball comes back to AJ Garcia. Moves it behind the net for Rylan Mon. Good pass back for Tyson Fontenla. However, it's intercepted by Coquitlam netminder Owen Byers. As Byers unable to complete a pass to Henrik Lucas. Lucas tried to pick up the ball, but unable to do so. The ball is back in the hands of Jack Anderson, who moves it down the far side. Isaiah Ramsden walks in. A shot stopped by Owen Byers. Smart shot there by Isaiah Ramsden, just unable to capitalize. Jordan Reed gets possession back down the near side. Reed will hand it off to his left. Here's Nate Chalmers. Chalmers stutter steps. Cross floor pass gets through to Parker Kennedy. Back for Chalmers. Nate Chalmers, Parker Kennedy, right side. Kennedy up top. George Caldroni for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers goes downhill, finds open space. Shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. As the Nanaimo netminder will move the ball up, Morgan Lee will take possession. Good first period so far for Jay Stewart. As Thomas gets the ball back down the near side. Here's Thomas, cross floor, gets it through. As the ball is picked up by Daniel O'Leary. Now to the near side for Thomas. Thomas working on one goal already in today's game. Here's Reed Johnson, walks in. O'Leary, a shot stopped by Byers. As the loose ball is collected by Nanowski, Nanaimo not allowing Coquitlam to set up their offense on the other end of the floor. Fresh shot clock. Nanowski tries to feed it to O'Leary, and the referee's going to call the turnover. It's going to be Adanac's ball. Coquitlam will head back up the floor. McNamara gets the ball back down the near side. Here's Archbold. Miles Archbold takes possession. He'll move it back down the near side. Cross floor pass gets through for Ethan Gordon. Back up top, Kai Hartley. Here's Matty Dane. Goes now to the goal line. Dane here's a shot, and Ethan Gordon stopped away by Jay Stewart, his former netminder. The ball will head back down the floor, coming down the near sides. Gunderson. Gavin Gunderson, captain Nanaimo. Rylan Mon gets the ball back down the near side. A bit of a stutter step. Now a cross floor pass to Reed Johnson. Johnson to his left. Now to his right for Fontenla. To Mon. Rylan Mon tries to go downhill. A shot stopped away by Owen Byers. Miles Archbold collects the ball. A rare low-scoring first period here at the Poirier so far. Barrar's shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. As now Kyan Barrar with that last chance there. Gunderson will get the ball back for Nanaimo. Gavin Gunderson hands it off to the near side before heading to the bench for a change. Gunderson gets that pass to Nanowski. Nanowski now to the left side. Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla working from that far side half. Ball to Johnson. Back for Nanowski. Nanowski coming down the near side. He'll take a low shot stopped away by Owen Byers, who tried to settle down the ball. Instead, the Adanacs will pick it up and head back to the other end of the floor. Jack Olson. No Callum Olson in the lineup tonight for Coquitlam. He played on Friday, but not tonight. Caldroni, Superman shot stopped away by Jay Stewart, as the ball will end up back here with the Nanaimo Timbermen. Adanacs first place coming into this one, 9-2-1 record. Nanaimo sitting in last place with a 2-11 record, but right now it is the Nanaimo Timbermen up 2-1. O'Leary, and out of the far side. As the ball moves across to the left, here is Rylan Mon, will take a shot stopped away by Owen Byers. And despite Coquitlam having a two-shot advantage, it is Keenan DeWitt trying to feed his teammate Ethan Gordon, both in Nanaimo and now here in Coquitlam, a pass. And that is unable to be connected. As I was saying, guys, the Adanacs may have had the shot advantage here in the first period, but it does feel like Nanaimo has gotten the more quality possessions, the more quality chances, and more time of possession as well. Thomas now on the offensive end of the floor, works off the screen, cross floor pass to Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla tries to go downhill. The ball will end up back up top as the pass gets through for Isaiah Ramsden. Ramsden, Rylan Mon falling away, and the shot stopped away by Owen Byers. Adanacs will recollect possession as Coquitlam's offense will head back on the floor. Here's Jordan Reed coming down the near side. Reed hands the ball off to the trailer, Miles Archbold, before heading off for a change. Archbold for Matty Dane. Dane at the left side half wall. Cross floor pass. Gets through there for Ethan Gordon. Back for Matty Dane. Dane will take a shot. Blocked in front partially. Jack Anderson will pick it up, and he'll hand the ball up ahead. As moving up the floor is Bourne. Bourne to Johnson. Ball's misplayed. The Timbermen able to keep it alive, but it's intercepted. Liam Lalonde, cross floor. Here's Keenan DeWitt, walks in. He scores! His first goal as a Coquitlam Adanac. Keenan DeWitt finds the back of the net, and Coquitlam has tied the game at 2. So welcome to Coquitlam. Keenan DeWitt, freshly acquired, scores against his former team. And Keenan DeWitt has tied the game at 2 in what felt like a goal that took forever to come for Coquitlam. But the Adanacs have tied the game at 2. So now the ball will head back out to the far side between the benches. Loose ball scooped up here by Reed, as Reed will get possession at the near side. Here's Jordan Reed, far side. Nate Chalmers for George Caldroni. Caldroni spinning. George Caldroni finds open space, cross floor, a shot, and that won't go. Ball ends up behind the net. Referee's going to call crease violation. It is going to be Nanaimo ball. As the ball will now come back here into the hands of Gavin Gunderson. He'll hand it forward to Rylan Mon. Mon had no clue where the ball was. Loose ball attempted to be scooped up by Alec McNamara. He lost it. Now gets it back. Here's Alec McNamara off a great effort, staying with that loose ball. Alec McNamara moves the ball back out now to the far side. Here's Miles Archbold. Archbold drops it up top for Matty Dane. Cross floor, Ethan Gordon. Now to Xander Freeman. Here's Parker Kennedy, gets open. Kennedy a shot. Point blank save made by goaltender Jay Stewart. Loose ball collected back at the far side. Here's Parker Kennedy. Kennedy at the right. Cross floor, Matty Dane. Dane, extra pass now to the right side. Here's Archbold up top. He'll take a save made by Jay Stewart. And now the Timbermen will get ball possession right back. Intercepted. What an effort by Matty Dane. Dane tries to go downhill, and he is met by an oncoming pressure from Nanaimo's James Hall. Matty Dane gets the ball back at the left side. Dane goes right to the net. Shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. As the Nanaimo netminder gets a piece of that one there. 1:25 to go in the first period. This game is tied at 2 off the recent goal from Keenan DeWitt, which ended up being his first career goal as a Coquitlam Adanac. Nanowski, near side half wall. Connor Nanowski rolls the shoulder. Will hand it off to Thomas. Thomas comes down that near side. Thomas gets up top, works to the right. He'll take, great pad save by Owen Byers. Johnson scoops back the ball. Up top, here's Thomas, as the ball will end up being called for over and back. It is going to be Coquitlam ball, 55.9 seconds to go. Head coach Pat Coyle liking the effort from his team here in the latter half of the first period. As the Timbermen will get possession of the ball back off a turnover from Coquitlam. Here's Lee, who will head up down the floor. Lee heads down the floor, hands the ball back here to Rylan Mon. Mon coming down the near side. Alec McNamara pressures Rylan Mon alongside Sam Charbonneau. The ball is collected here back into the hands of Rylan Mon. Good pass in front, and Johnson couldn't quite receive it. Here's Johnson at the far side. 2 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Last second shot attempt. Owen Byers makes the save. Doesn't look like the Adanacs are going to take time here, as they'll keep playing. Chalmers, final seconds of the first period. Here's Nate Chalmers, left side. Chalmers hands it off, a cross-floor pass back for Chalmers up top. Now to the right, and that's going to be deflected. It is going to be Nanaimo ball with 2.3 seconds to go. Long heave down to the other end of the floor, and that will do it for the first period of play. A low-scoring first period of play here at the Palace on Poirier sees the Nanaimo Timbermen and the Coquitlam Adanacs tied at 2 following a fun 20 minutes of action. There you see the most recent replay of the last attempt by the Coquitlam Adanacs. Just couldn't get the pass across to that far side corner. If they did, Jay Stewart really had the back door ready to be stopped. Your shots on goal after one period of play by the Coquitlam Adanacs, 21 by the Nanaimo Timbermen, 16, as the Timbermen led for most of that first period of play, but the Adanacs were able to get back. Coquitlam jumped ahead early. Nanaimo answered with 2 quick goals to take the lead. The Adanacs battled back to tie before the end of the period. No penalties in that period. Both teams are playing quite disciplined lacrosse so far. Coquitlam's controlling possession, generating more chances, but Nanaimo's been clinical and dangerous, especially on the rush, as Thomas Young, remember, had that breakaway goal. And your scoring breakdown for the first period: Owen Eckert a goal on the even strength as he opened the scoring a minute 27 seconds in. Rylan Mon would get one back for Nanaimo less than a minute later. Assists go to Jaden Thomas and Daniel O'Leary. And then Nanaimo would get a goal from Thomas Young unassisted. They took the lead in a span of less than a minute. And then with 3:04 to go in the first period of play, Keenan DeWitt would get his first goal as a Coquitlam Adanac. Great response by Coquitlam late in the period to send it to intermission. As for the Coquitlam Adanacs, they're getting looks, but Nanaimo's goalie, Jay Stewart, has been sharp. So the Adanacs are going to have to try and convert some of the volume into goals. The Nanaimo Timbermen are capitalizing on opportunities and showing the same fight they did in the comeback win yesterday. And Rylan Mon, of course, with a big goal. Thomas Young with a big goal as well. And Jaden Thomas is contributing well with an assist. For Coquitlam, of course, Owen Eckert and Keenan DeWitt have found the back of the net. So we shall see what happens following a wild first period here in Coquitlam. With that, folks, we shall step aside. Your score after 20 minutes. Both teams tied at 2. Stay tuned for the second period. Coming up next, you're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse, powered by Trickshot on Junior Adanac TV. Welcome back inside the Palace on Poirier as we get set for the second period of play between the Coquitlam Adanacs and the Nanaimo Timbermen. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV, powered by Trickshot. Jagaraj Lully with the call here today on behalf of our incredible crew at Trickshot. We do have the best team in the world providing all sorts of coverage to you. Today, joining me is Theo in the producer chair, Matthew up on camera. As in the second period of play, what to watch, your things to watch here in the second period of play. Can Coquitlam use that shot volume to pull ahead? You have to look for guys like Parker Kennedy, Kai Hartley, Nate Chalmers to get going. Can Nanaimo continue their momentum from yesterday's big win? Tyson Fontenla, of course, not on the score sheet quite yet. Look for him to push as well. Both teams, no power plays to work with, so the first team to get a man advantage could very well seize control. Great job by both goaltenders so far, Owen Byers as well as goaltender Jay Stewart of the Nanaimo Timbermen, who have done a great job keeping their teams strong with their presence on the back end. Of course, talked about Tyson Fontenla, currently tied for 5th in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League in scoring. He is Nanaimo's top offensive weapon, so look for him to perhaps get going as we get set for the second period of play. Nanaimo will be shooting from right to left wearing the black jerseys, and Coquitlam will be going from left to right wearing the white jerseys. We're off and underway. The Adanacs control. So Owen Eckert, he'll send the ball back down the near side for Kennedy. Parker Kennedy looking to go downhill. Kennedy cross floor, gets the pass across. Here's a shot by Archbold, and that ends up wide. As now the referee's going to say indeed it was deflected off an Nanaimo netminder Jay Stewart, so possession will head right back with the Adanacs. Here's McElhargy. McElhargy hands it off for Kennedy. Kennedy, cross floor. Pass gets through. It's Jordan Reed with possession. Reed will knock it back down to Kennedy here at the near side. Parker Kennedy moves up top. Kennedy walks in, a shot, and that is stopped away by goaltender Jay Stewart. As the ball will now head back here with Gunderson. Gavin Gunderson will head up the floor. Gunderson moves it off now to the near side as the pass will come back to Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla hands it off. Here's a shot, and that ends up wide of the goal. Talked about Tyson Fontenla and how the Timbermen can expect him to get going here in the second period of play. Johnson met by heavy pressure at the near side. The ball will end up cross floor. Here's a long shot by Thomas, and Owen Byers got a piece of that one there. Off the stanchion, and now to Keenan DeWitt. DeWitt, of course, coming off the heels of his first goal as a Coquitlam Adanac in that first period to tie the game at 2, looks for more. Alec McNamara hands the ball off. It ends up now to the far side. Here's Ethan Gordon. Gordon, right side for the Adanacs. Gordon pass to Freeman up ahead and unable to get that one through as Jay Stewart will pick it up for Nanaimo. Here's Garcia. Garcia looks to head down the floor as he tries to get a pass across. The ball will end up back at the near side here for Carson Gunderson. Here's O'Leary. O'Leary cross floor. Pass gets through as the ball will come back with Connor Nanowski. Nanowski cross floor. Daniel O'Leary. He'll take a shot stopped away by Owen Byers. As the Adanacs netminder able to make the save there, Coquitlam will head back up the floor. The ball comes back here now to the near side with Sam Charbonneau. Charbonneau hands it forward. Here's Parker Kennedy. Kennedy moves down the near side. Looks for open space. Cross floor. Here's a shot that's wide of the goal. As Parker Kennedy unable to corral a rebound, over and back is going to be called. It's going to be Nanaimo ball. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds elapsed here in the second period of play. The Adanacs faithful looking to try and will their team on to a win. Fontenla gets the pass across. Here's Elliot Postings. Postings unable to hold on to possession of the ball. Jordan Reed will pick it up. He'll move it up the floor for Henrik Lucas. Lucas crosses the center floor line. Pass gets through. In front, shot, and the referee will call a crease violation on Ethan Gordon. It is going to be Nanaimo Timberman ball. Hall gets the ball back now down the near side. Hall cross floor. Here's Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary moves down that near side. Working off a screen set by Rylan Mon. Daniel O'Leary now to the far side. Gets the pass across here for Jaden Thomas. Thomas for O'Leary. Daniel O'Leary again utilizing the screen set by Fontenla. Here's Tyson Fontenla. Gets through. Fontenla walks in and unable to get that one through to the net. The ball's deflected now to the Coquitlam Adanacs. As Coquitlam will head back down the floor. Here's McElhargy. McIlhargy hands it off for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers moves the ball up. As the pass gets through, now down the near side. Cross floor up top. A shot by Caldroni, and the ball goes out of play. Ethan Gordon getting a couple of great offensive looks here in the middle frame. Xander Freeman down the near side. Freeman walks in, gets open, a shot, stopped away by Jay Stewart, who got a piece of that one there. Gunderson gets back possession of the ball as he'll head down the floor. Here's Gunderson to O'Leary. That was Carson Gunderson with the ball there. Now to Daniel O'Leary. Cross floor, pass gets through here to Rylan Mon. Back for Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary works off the screen up top. Pass gets through, back down to the left side for Isaiah Ramsden. Ramsden tries to take a shot. Now we'll take a last-second shot. Save made by Owen Byers. As the Adanacs netminder will hand the ball back down to the near side for Jordan Reed. Reed, far side. The ball gets through. It'll come back now down the near side once again. Miles Archbold hands it off out now to the far side. Diving on in, and a shot attempted by George Caldroni. Won't get through. Hall comes back now down the near side. Hall intercepted by Kyan Barrar. Has Sam Charbonneau on his wing. Here's Barrar now to the far side. Kyan Barrar still with possession, looking for open space and time to work with. Hands the ball off to Matty Dane as he'll head off to the bench for a change. Ethan Gordon near side. Gordon up top, fakes. Ethan Gordon cross floor. Pass back in front, Freeman, and that's wide of the goal. Xander Freeman unable to take advantage of that opportunity in tight. Liam Sullivan will pick up the ball back. He'll head down the near side. Sullivan moves the ball back out now to the far side wall. As the ball is back here in the hands of Tyson Fontenla at the near side. Fontenla goes to the near corner, drops it up top. Nanowski, cross floor pass gets through. As the ball is at the right side for Jaden Thomas. Thomas downhill. Fontenla, he scores! I talked about Tyson Fontenla and how he had to get hot here in the second period. And the offensive weapon for Nanaimo has arrived to this game. A great finish by Tyson Fontenla in tight, beats Owen Byers for Fontenla's 23rd goal of the year. And Nanaimo is up 3-2. There you can see once again a great finish by Fontenla in tight. And he makes no mistake beating goaltender Owen Byers. And that is what Nanaimo has elected to use today. The short shot has worked to success in at least 2 of the 3 goals they've scored. And now Nanaimo protects that 3-2 lead. The Adanacs looking to respond. Coquitlam has not led, or they have led in this game. They've not led since 1-0 early in the opening frame. Here's a chance. Hartley downhill, and that is unable to be stopped, or that is unable to be beaten. Jay Stewart. Kai Hartley unable to beat Jay Stewart there. Kai Hartley, look for him to perhaps get going as well. Had a hat trick in Friday's game against Port Coquitlam, but seemingly quiet so far today. The ball ends up back here into the hands of Jaden Thomas. Cross for Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary for Thomas. Thomas fires! Save made by Owen Byers. As Alec McNamara will head back up the floor. McNamara downhill, walks in. A quick shot stopped by Stewart. Rebound in front. That save made by Jay Stewart as well. As Jay Stewart has stopped 26 of the 28 shots he's faced. A great afternoon so far for Nanaimo's goaltender. Here's AJ Garcia. Hands the ball off to Thomas before heading to the bench for a change. Near side, Isaiah Ramsden unable to corral the ball. Johnson picks it up. Johnson met by heavy pressure in front. As the ball will be coming back to the near side. Great give and go there. Owen Eckert from Liam Lalonde. Here's Eckert, walks in. He'll take stopped away by Jay Stewart. As the ball will now come back now down the near side with James Hall. Hall, cross floor pass gets through. As the ball will come back now down the near side, it's Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla, cross floor pass gets through. Downhill, attempting to go downhill was Connor Nanowski. As the ball comes back now down the near side, Sam Charbonneau behind the back for Liam Lalonde. Lalonde will head up the floor, coming down the near side. Liam Lalonde will send the ball across up now to the far side once again. Here's Kennedy. Parker Kennedy up top. Kennedy, cross floor pass gets through in front. Hartley couldn't send that one home. As the rebound attempted to be collected by Parker Kennedy, he is unable to get that one through. Bourne comes down the near side. Here's Bourne. Hands the ball off for Jaden Thomas near that far side half wall. Johnson will pick it up. Johnson goes to the middle. He'll take, and that is off the end wall, somehow behind Owen Byers, but luckily not in the net as the Adanacs will get back the ball. Keenan DeWitt comes down the near side. DeWitt hands the ball up ahead before heading to the bench for a change. As Parker Kennedy picks up the ball down the near side. Kennedy cross floor as Matty Dane gets it back to the front of the net. The Adanacs unable to connect there on the pass. Continuing a bit of miscommunication that they faced. Now Nanaimo's offense will have the chance to get to work. As here's Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla gets the ball back at the near side. Lost it. The loose ball is scooped up here down the near side by Jack Olson. Here's Johnson. Johnson gets loose. Bumps the shoulder. Johnson takes a shot. Stopped away by Owen Byers. As the Adanacs netminder makes the save there, the Coquitlam Adanacs look to head back here on offense. Alec McNamara down the near side, hands it off for Xander Freeman. Freeman has possession at the right side. Xander Freeman, left side, back in, front, behind the back. Adanacs unable to get a shot through. Kai Hartley steps into the crease. It's going to be a crease violation, and Nanaimo will take back over on offense. Carson Gunderson, one of the call-ups for the Nanaimo Timbermen, will drop the ball back out to the near side. Here's O'Leary. Cross floor pass gets through. Thomas works off the screen. Jaden Thomas to Rylan Mon. A shot stopped away by Owen Byers. Adanacs collect the rebound. Been a back and forth goaltending battle here in the first half of the second period. Keenan DeWitt gets loose. Back pass to Kennedy. Kennedy centering pass gets through. Here's Ethan Gordon. Pass attempt for Parker Kennedy. Too much power on that pass from Ethan Gordon. Goes out of play. And Nanaimo will take back over on offense. Hall has possession as he crosses the center floor line. Gets the pass across to Johnson. Johnson battling against Alec McNamara of Coquitlam. Johnson will head back down the floor. Here's Reed Johnson up top. Cross floor pass gets through. A shot there. Save made by Owen Byers. As the ball will come back now down the near side. Sam Charbonneau. Charbonneau heads down the floor. Sam Charbonneau walks in. A shoulder save made by the netminder, that being Jay Stewart rather. And now Stewart will drop the ball back out of the near side. Here's Carson Gunderson. He'll head up the floor. Drops the pass to Tyre. Cross floor gets through. Here's Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary trying to find some space downhill. Goes now to the near corner. O'Leary hands it up top to Jaden Thomas. Back for Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary utilizes the screen. Daniel O'Leary, far side. Thomas a drive, and that's partially blocked in front. Coquitlam looking to head back in transition. As coming downhill, here's a chance for Kyan Barrar. Barrar, near side half wall, drops the ball up to Kennedy. Parker Kennedy working down the right side. Kennedy, 15 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Parker Kennedy, cross floor. Nate Chalmers back in front. Kai Hartley. Hartley walks in tight, and that is over the shoulder, but the shoulder getting in the way there for Parker Kennedy, the shoulder being of Jay Stewart. Kai Hartley up top to the left side. A shot stopped by Jay Stewart. George Calgione corrals the loose ball at the Adanacs bench, liking the effort here of the Coquitlam offense. Here's Parker Kennedy near side. Kennedy cross floor. Chalmers a drive. Stopped away by Jay Stewart. Rebound ends up into the hands of Hall here for Nanaimo. Great pressure by Coquitlam along the end wall. The ball sent all the way down to the other end of the floor, and the Adanacs Sam Charbonneau will pick it up. Sam Charbonneau hustles his way back down the floor. Pass gets through here down the near side for Xander Freeman. Freeman works down the right side. Cross floor pass. Here's Nate Chalmers up top. Chalmers far side. Near side, a shot there by Ethan Gordon, stopped away by Jay Stewart. Jay Stewart will hand the ball up now to the near side for Bourne. Bourne settles the ball near the center floor line. As Bourne will spin, looking for open space to work with. Here's Bourne, heads down the near side. Cross floor pass gets through. As the ball is Back here into the hands of Nanaimo's Connor Nanowski. He'll hand it down to the near side. Fontenla drive. And goaltender Owen Byers got a piece of that one there. 7:25 to go in the middle frame. Nanaimo up 3-2 as the period's only goal was scored early by Nanaimo. Kennedy gets it back, and of course the lone goal of the period so far scored by Tyson Fontenla, the leading scorer for the Nanaimo Timbermen with his 23rd of the year. Parker Kennedy a drive, partially blocked in front, as getting a piece of that was Thomas Young. Young will now receive a pass from behind his own net. Young comes up the near side. Being met there by Owen Eckert as Young tries to complete a pass. Bounce pass, Rylan Mon couldn't pick up the ball. And we have a Adanac in some discomfort here behind the play. McElhargy picks up the ball down the near side, and Adanac is limping off of the floor. Coquitlam will look to settle the ball. That's Sam Charbonneau who took a whack, and he is in some discomfort as he heads to the bench. A pass there from Ethan Gordon to Freeman, a drive, a save made by goaltender Jace Stewart. 6:30 to go in the middle frame. The Adanacs trailed Nanaimo 3-2. Last time these two teams played against one another, it was a 5-4 overtime win for the Coquitlam Adanacs. So many may seem surprised as to why the Adanacs' high-powered offense has been unable to find the back of the net tonight multiple times. But for Nanaimo, it's no surprise as they've been in this exact same position before. McElhargy as Alec McNamara gets a steal. Here's McNamara one-on-one down the break. McNamara shoots. Great save by Jace Stewart. As Jace Stewart continues his excellent game so far. 34 saves on 36 shots now for the Nanaimo netminder. Owen Eckert has the ball. He'll come down the near side. Owen Eckert will look to hand it off, and he does. Out to the near side, Kai Hartley. Up top, Parker Kennedy. Kennedy, cross-floor pass. Back for Parker Kennedy at the near side. Kennedy gets the pass through. Here's Miles Archbold down to the far corner. As the loose ball is high up in the air, Kai Hartley looks to take advantage. Nanaimo's Gavin Gunderson will pick up the ball down the near side. As the captain will hand it off near the center floor line to Tyre, who moves the ball up the floor. Nanaimo establishing their offense here on the offensive end of the floor. Shots 36-25 in favor of Coquitlam. The ball's back out now to the far side. Rylan Mon, cross-floor pass gets through here to Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla finds open space, goes downhill, falling away. A left pad save by Owen Byers. The referee calls for the crease violation. It's going to be Coquitlam ball as the Adanacs will head up the floor. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the middle frame. Coquitlam trailing Nanaimo 3-2. Olsen for Hartley. He'll take, and that ends up wide of the goal. The ball will come back now down the near side as it's collected by A.J. Garcia. Garcia ends up to the far side, half wall. Garcia coming back down the near side for Bourne. He'll hand it off to O'Leary. Daniel O'Leary off the screen. O'Leary gets through now to the far side as the Timbermen still with possession of the ball. Nanowski centering pass. Here's a shot stopped away by goaltender Owen Byers. Bounce pass gets through for Liam Lalonde. Here comes McNamara. Alec McNamara has possession at the near side. McNamara still with it. We'll try and find some open space to work with. Xander Freeman near side. Freeman hands the ball across. Left side, a drive there, and a save made by the pad of goaltender Jay Stewart. Xander Freeman moves the ball back out now to the near side. Pass gets through here to Kai Hartley. He'll move down the left for Matty Dane. Dane spins near the far side half wall. He'll take a shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. Loose ball ends up in front, and Jay Stewart will settle it down. Here's Gavin Gunderson, moves down the near side. Gunderson still has possession. Gavin Gunderson coming down that near side wall. And now it's going to be an over and back. Coquitlam takes over. Keenan DeWitt downhill, and save partially made by Jay Stewart. Keenan DeWitt picks up the ball, far corner. DeWitt still with possession. As Keenan DeWitt will hand the ball off. It'll end up now to the near side for Parker Kennedy. 3:10 to go in the middle frame. Parker Kennedy, open space, shot stopped away by Stewart. And the referee is going to call a violation here against the Nanaimo Timbermen. It's going to stay Adanac's ball. The offense will still be allowed to get to work here. Nate Chalmers, far side half wall. Chalmers, good pass in tight. Low shot, scores! Coquitlam ties the game off a sweet pass from Nate Chalmers. And he finds his man in tight. No mistake there made by George Caldroni, as Coquitlam has tied the game at 3. And you'll see there Nate Chalmers with an excellent setup. George Caldroni. Well, check that. It's going to be Miles Archbold getting the goal there. Low shot there by Archbold. And it is a 3-3 tie. So it looks like we will have the first penalty of the game here. Henrik Lucas is going to be heading off. 2 minutes for cross-checking, and Coquitlam will be on the penalty kill. Nanaimo's power play operating at a 34.5 power play success rate. 10 power play goals for the Timbermen this season, and they're going to be looking to retake the lead with the game's first power play. Fontenla to the left side. O'Leary moves the ball back as it'll come back here with Tyson Fontenla. Now to the right side. Cross floor pass. O'Leary a take, and that ends up above the crossbar. Here's Fontenla. He'll take. He scores! 22 seconds is all it takes for Tyson Fontenla to get his second of the game. Man, a power play goal here for Nanaimo has gotten them back up by 1. Fontenla with a heavy drive from up top makes no mistake, beating goaltender Owen Byers. And the tie there at 3 only lasted a mere few seconds as the Nanaimo Timbermen have retaken a 1-goal lead. And so Nanaimo able to get their 4th goal at least about, I believe, 27 seconds after Miles Archbold tied the game at 3. So now the Timbermen will continue to move down the floor. Johnson will get the ball back at the near side, as the ball will come back out now to the far side half wall. Here's Jaden Thomas. Thomas moves the ball up the floor. Low shot there. And a save there made by Owen Byers. Adanacs are going to try and tie the game before the end of the second period of play. McElhargy. Here's Kennedy. Near side. As the ball moves back out now to the far side. Here's Matty Dane. Backdoor. And a great save made by Jay Stewart on Ethan Gordon. Stewart has the ball and settles it down as Jay Stewart robs Ethan Gordon there on the back door. And Nanaimo has possession. They'll move down the near side. Here's Lee. Lee, cross floor pass. Hall picks it up. Kennedy takes possession, moves back down the near side for Fontenla. Here's Tyson Fontenla. Up top, goes, takes a shot, and a save there made by the Adanacs netminder, Owen Byers. Back to live action as Reed has possession. Jordan Reed hands it off now down the near side for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy, near side, fakes. Parker Kennedy, cross floor. Here's Matty Dane, back to Parker Kennedy. Nate Chalmers, Xander Freeman, a shot stopped away by Jay Stewart. And the referee is going to say it is indeed going to be Nanaimo Timberman ball. For the Timbermen heading up the floor will be Morgan Lee. Lee has possession. He'll come down the near side. Sam Charbonneau battling against Lee as Lee tries to kill off as much time as he can on the clock. Adanacs will take back possession coming down the near sides. Owen Eckert. Kyan Barrar sets the screen. Eckert a drive. He scores! Owen Eckert with his second of the game. Give all the credit there to Kyan Barrar for establishing a great screen. Owen Eckert has tied the game at 4 with 31.8 seconds to go in the middle frame. Eckert downhill, fast in transition, and finds the back of the net, beating goaltender Jay Stewart, and a big goal for head coach Pat Coyle and his squad as this game is tied at 4. Off the face-off, Lucas McElhargy, and now a timeout has been called by head coach Pat Coyle. Well, that gives us a chance to look at the BC Junior A Lacrosse League out-of-town scoreboard. The Victoria Shamrocks currently lead the Burnaby Lakers 16-3 in the third period of play. Taking a look at your upcoming schedule for the BC Junior A Lacrosse League, just one game during the week. On Tuesday, June the 30th, the Delta Islanders head to Queen's Park Arena to take on the New West Salmon Bellies, with opening face-off scheduled for 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Next Friday, your Coquitlam Adanacs are back in action here at the Palace on Poirier for a 7 o'clock opening face-off against the Langley Thunder. Those two teams currently, as we speak, are the top two teams in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. And the Port Coquitlam Saints will battle the Burnaby Lakers at 7 o'clock the same night at the John Bailey Arena in Port Coquitlam. As that should be a great matchup between those two teams. And, of course, Adanacs fans firsthand saw the new look Port Coquitlam Saints on Friday, as Poco had a great win against Coquitlam. So the net is pulled here for head coach Pat Coyle and his team. 27.6 seconds to go. Coquitlam with seemingly the last possession here of the opening or of the second period of play. Holding on will be George Caldroni. Caldroni, 15 seconds to work with. George Caldroni running down the clock. Here's Caldroni. Here they go. Caldroni to Hartley. Near side, Parker Kennedy. Cross floor. Pass doesn't get through. Caldroni, a low shot. Ends up wide. Rebound, and that is wide as well. As that'll do it for the middle frame. It is going to be a 4-4 tie heading into the intermission, as the Nanaimo Timbermen, despite being the lower seed and despite playing just yesterday, still are tied here with the number one seed, Coquitlam Adanacs. A great middle period between these two teams, as your shots on goal in the middle period by Coquitlam 25, by Nanaimo 14, for a two-period total by Coquitlam 46, by Nanaimo 30. Coquitlam continues to dominate the shot volume, but Nanaimo's been extremely efficient and opportunistic. The Timbermen are continuing to show that same resilience from yesterday's comeback win, twice taking the lead in this period, only for Coquitlam to answer right back. Your scoring summary in the second period of play: Tyson Fontenla would score his first of the game, his 23rd of the year, as the assist would go to Jaden Thomas and Connor Nanowski, which would make it a 3-2 Timberman lead. Miles Archbold would respond for Coquitlam with the assist to Nate Chalmers to make it 3-3. Tyson Fontenla would strike on the power play 27 seconds after Archbold's goal, the assist to Nanowski and Thomas, so Tyson Fontenla up to 2 goals on the game. Owen Eckert would tie the game at 4 with just 31 seconds left in the middle frame to make it 4-4. Tyson Fontenla has been the game changer for Nanaimo, 2 goals, including 1 on the power play. Owen Eckert has 2 goals for Coquitlam on the on the back end for Owen Eckert, so 2 goals in transition have given Coquitlam this 4-4 tie. Jaden Thomas, Connor Nanowski having great games with multiple assists each, and Miles Archbold, of course, with the comeback or the key response goal for Coquitlam, the assist there to Nate Chalmers. Nanaimo 1 for 1 on the power play. Coquitlam, of course, taking the only penalty so far, which was a Henrik Lucas cross-checking penalty at 2:53 of the second. Both goaltenders have been busy. What a game so far for Jay Stewart. 39 saves on 43 shots for the Nanaimo netminder, and Nanaimo's resilience has been the story. They've led twice today, and they do refuse to go away for this Nanaimo team, looking for their 3rd win of the campaign. Folks, we shall step aside for the second intermission. When we return, we'll get the stage set for the 3rd. Stay tuned. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV, powered by Trickshot. Welcome back inside the Palace on Poirier as we get set for the final period of play of regulation between the Coquitlam Adanacs and the Nanaimo Timbermen. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV, powered by Trickshot. Jagrajali with the call, Theo in the producer's chair, and Matthew up on camera. Keys to mention here in the third period, can Coquitlam finally turn their massive shot advantage into a lead as they're leading the shots 45-30, and will Parker Kennedy, Kai Hartley, the top scorers for the Adanacs, come alive? They've been relatively quiet so far. Can Coquitlam shut down Tyson Fontenla in this final third period of play? So for the Coquitlam Adanacs, they won the first matchup between these two teams 5-4 in overtime, and they will be looking to try and pull out a similar result here today, but maybe try and get the job done in regulation. Parker Kennedy has possession of the ball. He'll come down the left hill. Downhill, a shot! And crease violation is going to be the call here. No goal, says the official, as the Coquitlam bench was quick to react, but the referee is going to say no goal. Thomas has possession. Thomas moves the ball back for Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla, far side, Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary gets it back to the near wall here for Thomas. Of course, Nanaimo shooting left to right this period, wearing black. Adanacs right to left, wearing the white jerseys. As Owen Byers has possession, he'll move the ball back down the near side. Here's Jordan Reed up the floor. George Caldroni. Caldroni has possession, near side. Hands it off, Miles Archbold to Parker Kennedy. Kennedy from the far side half wall, drops it back to the near side. It's intercepted. Back come the Timbermen down the floor. Has possession now, is into the hands of A.J. Garcia. And Garcia has possession. He'll drop that one back out. Nanowski has possession, moves the ball across floor. It'll come back with Johnson at the far side. As now, ball will come back now down the floor. Johnson to Thomas. Thomas up top, 3 seconds to work with on the shot clock. A shot stopped by Byers. Rebound collected by McNamara. Alec McNamara, near side, Sam Charbonneau. Charbonneau, centering pass, gets through here for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers works off the screen, cross floor. Here's Ethan Gordon. Back up top, Freeman for Chalmers. Chalmers, extra pass. Here's Matty Dane, rolls through. Dane spinning, gets it up top. Kai Hartley to Ethan Gordon in tight. Gordon up top, Chalmers. Chalmers fakes. Superman shot, that's wide of the goal. As now the Adanacs will try and collect the loose rebound. However, it's collected by Nanaimo's Jack Anderson. Anderson stops, moves up ahead. Anderson coming down the floor at the near side. Lucas lost the ball. Henrik Lucas ends up heading down the floor. Lucas comes back down that left side. Will hand the ball off the left side to Miles Archbold. Archbold cross floor to his right. Here's Xander Freeman, spins. Freeman tries to get it through to Miles Archbold. He couldn't pick it up. As Archbold lost the ball, it's scooped back. The loose ball is here for George Caldroni. Postings at the far side corner. Caldroni takes his man down, battles for it along the end wall, and now the ball's picked up here by Nanaimo netminder Jay Stewart. He'll move it up ahead to Gavin Gunderson. As Captain Nanaimo will take the ball up the floor, he'll spin, crosses the center floor line. Gunderson comes back now down the near side. Of course, Nanowski will come back down the near side. Here's Connor Nanowski. Nanowski cross floor, Isaiah Ramsden. Now to Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla goes behind the net, looks for the dunk shot as the ball ends up back into the hands of the Coquitlam Adanacs. Here's Sam Charbonneau. The ball corrals off the near side wall. Bounce pass gets through to Nate Chalmers. Chalmers downhill, cross floor. Ethan Gordon walks in, shot, scores! His first as a Coquitlam Adanac. Great setup from Nate Chalmers to Ethan Gordon in front of the net. And Coquitlam has taken the lead for the first time since the first period. It's 5-4. Nate Chalmers to Ethan Gordon, who uses that big frame of his, even while being hit in front of the net, finds a way to beat goaltender Jay Stewart. And Ethan Gordon has made it 5-4. And so one of the new additions for Pat Coyle ends up paying off in this game so far, as Ethan Gordon has found the back of the net. Of course, both of head coach Pat Coyle's additions who are playing in this game are making their mark. Keenan DeWitt had the goal, and now Ethan Gordon finds the back of the net. Ball ends up now out to the far side. Here's Jaden Thomas. How will Nanaimo respond? Thomas finds possession at the near side half wall. Here's Thomas, a shot blocked partially in front by a leg, and feeling it is Rylan Mon who blocked that ball with his leg. Archbold comes back down the near side. Here's Archbold. Lost it. Loose ball ends up to George Caldroni. Now to the far side. Here's Archbold. Hartley to Parker Kennedy. He'll take well above the crossbar. Archbold on the rebound. Shoots. He scores! Second of the game for Miles Archbold. Called out the Sedin play if you wanted. Bounces off of the end wall and finds its way right to Miles Archbold, who goes low. And Coquitlam have taken a 2-goal lead for the first time today. As you can see, that ball bounces off that end wall, finds its way right to Miles Archbold, who makes no mistake going low. And Miles Archbold with his second of the game. It is 6-4 Coquitlam. Adanacs have started this third period out well, as they have found the back of the net on not one but two occasions. The ball ends up now out to the far side. How will Nanaimo respond? Daniel O'Leary for Isaiah Ramsden. Ramsden for Tyson Fontenla. Now to the near side, Rylan Mon. Mon gets the ball back. He'll hand it cross floor to Daniel O'Leary. O'Leary walks in. A pad save there made by netminder Owen Byers. Ball ends up behind the net, and it is going to be a shot clock violation. Adanacs will take back possession of the ball here. Jordan Reed gets the possession back down the near side. Reed still has it. He'll move it back for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers spins, goes right to the net, scores! What a goal by Nate Chalmers! Take him for a spin and then find the back of the net. Nate Chalmers off the sweet setup on the previous goal to Ethan Gordon now finds the back of the net on his own. And sometimes you get rewarded for your efforts. That is exactly what happens to Nate Chalmers here on this play. His 16th of the year. And Coquitlam has opened up a 3-goal lead. And Nate Chalmers will be all smiles after that goal there, as Coquitlam now finding their identity. The identity that has gotten this franchise back-to-back national championships. Resilience from the Coquitlam Adanacs here in the third period of play, as they are now up 7-4. Rylan Mon has possession for Nanaimo. The ball is up top with O'Leary. O'Leary near side. Comes back here to Thomas. Thomas fell down. Cross floor pass gets through. As the ball is back here into the hands of Thomas once again. Jaden Thomas hands it off for Tyson Fontenla. Fontenla downhill, wide of the near side post. As now possession will come back with the Coquitlam Adanacs. Here's Jordan Reed. Reed takes possession of the ball. He'll move it out to the right side. Miles Archbold takes the ball, moves from the near side half wall. Kennedy behind the net. Feeds that one over to the far side half wall. Ends up with George Caldroni. Caldroni downhill. Behind the net, here's a chance for the Michigan, and unable to be executed there. As the ball is back up top with Archbold, cross floor pass gets through, a shot, and that's stopped away partially by Jay Stewart. The ball will end up back out now to the far side half wall. As now the Adanacs will take back possession. Kai Hartley comes down the left side, down the middle. Kai Hartley, a shot, scores! What a goal by Kai Hartley down the middle, and finally Kai Hartley finds the back of the net as well. I had been waiting for Hartley to find his scoring touch, the scoring touch that got him a hat trick in Friday's game against Poco, and now Kai Hartley is up to 21 goals on the year, his team leading 21st goal, and Kai Hartley has made it 8-4 for Coquitlam. So now the question is, how will Nanaimo respond? They led for most of the opening two periods of play, but now Coquitlam has scored 4 unanswered goals here in the third period to take a 8-4 lead. Nate Chalmers, cross floor, Parker Kennedy, up top, left side. Here's Maddie Dane. Will take a shot. Stopped away by Jay Stewart. And what a response for Coquitlam here in the third period as they lead 8-4. Johnson has possession. He'll move the ball down the far side. Johnson coming down the left. Here's Johnson. Walks in. Lost possession of the ball. The ball will come back now down the near side for Rylan Mon. Mon, cross floor. Tyson Fontenla has possession. He'll spin. Goes now to the far corner. Fontenla behind the net goes Miles Archbold. Tries to feed it back in front to Rylan Mon as the ball will bounce over to the other end of the floor. And this is going to be still Coquitlam ball. So George Caldroni will take possession here from that far side corner. Caldroni moves it back over now to the near side. Parker Kennedy goes downhill. Back for Kennedy in front, and Ethan Gordon couldn't finish off that play there. Gordon has possession. He'll move behind the net. Ethan Gordon drops it up top for Kai Hartley. Hartley, far side. Pass gets through now to the half wall. The ball's back down the near side. Here's a shot by Caldroni. Rebound unable to be collected by Ethan Gordon. Parker Kennedy keeps play alive in the offensive end for Coquitlam. Here's Kennedy. Up top, he'll take. Stopped away by Jay Stewart. Loose ball scooped up here by Nanaimo in their own end of the floor. And now taking the ball back the other way will be Nanaimo's Jack Anderson. Connor Nanowski has possession of the ball. Hands it off to a fresh Daniel O'Leary from Nanaimo's bench. O'Leary for Nanowski. Nanowski heads down the near side. Connor Nanowski, cross floor to Thomas. Extra pass down the left for Henrik Lucas. Lucas up top. Down to the near side for Thomas. Thomas tries to feed it up to Nanowski, and it is going to be a shot clock violation. Coquitlam ball. Adanacs will head back down the floor. Reed has possession. Here's Nate Chalmers. Goes right to the net. Chalmers stopped away by Stewart. Gordon tries to collect the loose ball. He's pushed down to the floor. And the referee is going to indeed call the push. It is going to be a turnover from Nanaimo. Coquitlam will take back over on offense. Adanacs will have possession far side. Here's Parker Kennedy from Maddie Dane to the near wall. Dane falls down. Still gets the pass through. No, it's intercepted. Gunderson heading down the near side. Gavin Gunderson, Captain Nanaimo, will hand the ball off for Hall. Hall drops this one back to Johnson. Johnson, centering pass gets through here for Rylan Mon. Mon comes down the near side. Rylan Mon cuts right to the net. Great elbow save by Owen Byers. One of the better saves he's made this afternoon, as Coquitlam's netminder is able to keep the door shut there. Shots 52-32 as we speak for Coquitlam. The ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Miles Archbold. Archbold, Freeman, far side. As the pass gets through now to the near wall. George Caldroni for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy up top goes to the middle. Parker Kennedy for Miles Archbold. Archbold fires, scores! Count him up. Another one for Miles Archbold as he's got his hat trick tonight. And Coquitlam's up 9-4. What a shot by Archbold. Beats the goaltender. As nothing that Jay Stewart could have done there. Archbold goes top shelf, right side, in the words of Ian Wilson, right where Mama hides the cookies. 9-4 the score with 10:04 to go in the third. As the loose ball scooped back up, here's Reed at the near side. Reed, far side. Reed goes out now to the far side corner. Here's Jordan Reed. Hands it off for Ethan Gordon. Now to Chalmers. At the near side, it's Nate Chalmers. Centering pass, Ethan Gordon fires, scores! Second of the game for Ethan Gordon. And what a debut for Ethan Gordon in a Coquitlam Adanacs uniform, as he has 2 goals. And a timeout has been called by Nanaimo head coach Ty Yanko. Ethan Gordon able to wire one there past the netminder. 10-4 now the score. As Ethan Gordon, his second of the game. A final score to report from Burnaby. The Victoria Shamrocks defeat the Burnaby Lakers 18-3. So a big win for the Victoria Shamrocks as they hold on to third place in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League standings. So the Adanacs explode for 6 unanswered goals in the third period, and they now lead by 6. Ethan Gordon with his second of the game. He opened the scoring here in the third period and now has another. And Miles Archbold, of course, hat trick for him. Ethan Gordon with a goal right before the timeout. What a debut for Ethan Gordon, as I made mention, coming from the Nanaimo Timbermen. 2 goals against his former team. Gunderson has possession, moves the ball back for Hall. As it ends up now to the far side, here's Johnson in the middle. Johnson has possession near that far side wall, drops it back for Daniel O'Leary. Now to the near side for Thomas. Thomas works off the screen. The ball rolls back now to the near side half wall. Here's Johnson. He'll take a low shot, and that's partially blocked on its way to the net. Adanacs will take back possession. Here's McIlhargy. McIlhargy. Low shot. Archbold. At the near side, Miles Archbold has possession. Comes back down the near side. Here's Caldroni. Tries to feed it back door. Parker Kennedy. Extra pass now to the right side. As the ball will end up back here with Miles Archbold. He'll fall down, and save there made by the right pad there of netminder Jay Stewart. Adanacs keep play alive here for a shot clock reset and another offensive possession for Pat Coyle's squad. Here's George Caldroni. He'll take shoulder save made by Jay Stewart. Miles Archbold collects behind the net, and he'll circle back around the perimeter and out to the near side. Kennedy behind the net for Kai Hartley. Hartley at the right side, centering past Caldroni, and getting a piece of it was Jay Stewart, but the ball does indeed go back to Nanaimo's Lee. Gunderson has possession. Gavin Gunderson crosses the center floor line. The pass gets through. As now with possession was Jack Anderson. He'll hand it off to Connor Nanowski. Nanowski now to the far side. As the ball gets through, here's Nanowski near side. Connor Nanowski will take that swat of the goal. As the ball will come back up top, partially blocked on its way to the net. Sam Charbonneau with a great stick there. And it's going to be a shot clock violation against Nanaimo. 7:35 to go in the third. Coquitlam exploding for 6 unanswered goals in the third period, and this game is currently a 10-4 lead for Coquitlam. Kai Hartley now to the far side for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy works off the screen, set by Hartley. Here's Nate Chalmers at the left. Chalmers up top. He'll fire. A save there made by netminder Jay Stewart. As the ball will head back down the floor. Hall has possession. Moves it off now to the near side for Rylan Mon. Mon has possession, works off the screen. Rylan Mon, far side, Connor Nanowski. The ball ends up back here in the hands of Tyson Fontemla. Fontemla, cross floor for Nanowski. Connor Nanowski gets the pass through. Left side, Daniel O'Leary for Thomas. Thomas will take, and that shot is stopped away by Owen Byers. Ends up behind the netminder. They're going to call the shot clock violation. The shot came after the violation, hence it is going to be Coquitlam ball. Lucas will take possession. The ball comes back down the near side for Miles Archbold. Skipping his step there for Miles Archbold. He'll hand the ball to Nate Chalmers. Now to Ethan Gordon on the verge of a hat trick. Gordon for Caldroni. George Caldroni. Cross for Kennedy. Back to the back door for Chalmers. Nate Chalmers behind the net. Spins to his left. Nate Chalmers still with possession. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nate Chalmers gets loose. He'll take, and that's a pad save made by Jay Stewart. Chalmers picks up his own rebound. Nate Chalmers behind the net. Drops it back up top for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy works down the right side. Parker Kennedy cross for George Caldroni. Fires. Save made by Jay Stewart. And the Coquitlam Adanacs offense in full swing ahead here in this third period of play. Gunderson. Here's Rylan Mon coming down the near side. Mon goes behind the Adanacs net. Rylan Mon hands the ball back now to the far side rather. As the ball ends up behind the net. It's picked up by Nanowski here at the near side. Connor Nanowski. Near side goes up the floor. Shot stopped away by goaltender Owen Byers. As Jack Olson will pick up the ball. He'll move it up the floor down the near side for Liam Lalonde. Nate Chalmers gets back possession of the ball. Chalmers from that left side. Cross floor pass gets through. Parker Kennedy now to the half wall. Nate Chalmers gets the ball back up top. Here's Chalmers. Good pass inside and couldn't be completed, however, to Matty Dane as Nanaimo kept the pressure going on Dane, not allowing him to see where the ball was coming from. The ball's at center floor. It's intercepted. Nate Chalmers takes it. Chalmers, Coquitlam has numbers. Chalmers walks in, goes right to the net, shot, and that's wide of the far side post. And now the Adanacs have possession at that far side corner. Tyre looking to pressure the Adanacs as Kyan Barrar will hand the ball off before heading off to the bench for a change. Matty Dane to Kai Hartley, 15 seconds to work with for Coquitlam on the shot clock. Parker Kennedy up top to the left, Matty Dane. Dane cross floor, pass gets through. Here's Kai Hartley, Ethan Gordon fires, stopped away. Matty Dane gets the rebound. Up top, Kai Hartley, fresh shot clock for Coquitlam to work with. Parker Kennedy, Kai Hartley back for Kennedy. Kennedy with speed downhill, shoots, and that is stopped away by Jace Stewart. And Nanaimo will take back over on offense with 4:06 to go in the third. Here's Gunderson. Gets the ball back now down the near side for Thomas. Thomas has possession as he'll move the ball back out now to the far side. Thomas comes back with this one at the near side half wall. Thomas to Mon and shoots, and that is stopped away by Owen Byers. Ball will come back now down the near side for Alec McNamara. McNamara downhill. He'll fire, stopped away by Jace Stewart. Now to the far side, Morgan Lee will pick up possession. He'll move it down the floor. Here's Carson Gunderson, near side. Gunderson at the half wall. Up top, Nanowski lost it. Over and back is going to be called. It is going to be Coquitlam ball here. 3:20 to go in the third and a 6-goal lead. Got to give credit to this Nanaimo Timbermen team. A lot of call-ups tonight for head coach Ty Yanko and his squad, but they put in a valiant effort against the best team in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. Kai Hartley a shot, and that's off the outside of the net. The ball will be scooped up here by Owen Byers as he'll get the short pass through to Nate Chalmers. Chalmers takes a look at the clock before crossing the center floor line. Nate Chalmers give and go with Parker Kennedy back to the near side. Here's Matty Dane. Dane rolls off that left shoulder. Dane, cross floor pass, unable to get through. As possessions momentarily picked up by Jack Anderson of Nanaimo. Coquitlam gets it back. Kai Hartley behind the goal line, gives it away. Hartley picks up the loose ball at the far side half wall. However, the ball is now going to come right back with the Nanaimo Timbermen as the shot clock would expire. Here's Gunderson. Moves the ball back out now to the far side as the pass gets through. Thomas up top, cross floor. There's Rylan Mon. Mon moves downhill, a shot stopped away by Owen Byers. Ball flies high up into the air, and it will be an over and back Coquitlam ball. As the ball gets through, here's George Caldroni up top. Caldroni set off the screen by Archbold. Here's a shot by Kennedy, stopped away by Jay Stewart. As Nanaimo will get the ball back now to the near side. Hall. Centering pass gets through for Connor Nanowski. Nanowski will go for a spin. The ball will come back now down the near side. Thomas, cross floor. Here's Isaiah Ramsden for Johnson. Johnson spins to Thomas at the near side. Thomas up top. Back to the near side for Nanowski. Cross floor. Here's Isaiah Ramsden a drive. Stopped away by Owen Byers. As now 31 saves on 35 shots for Owen Byers, who has certainly redeemed himself in the latter half of the game, as he has had a splendid performance between the pipes for Pat Coyle and his squad. Final minute of play here in the third period, as Coquitlam looks to bounce back following that tough loss on Friday against Poco. Chalmers a drive, and that is stopped away by Jay Stewart. With a win today, Coquitlam will be the first team of the BC Junior A Lacrosse League to pick up double-digit wins on the season. Rylan Mon spins down the near side. Mon for Fontenla. Now to the left side, here's Johnson. Johnson's shot, and that is wide of the goal. Ball will be collected by McElhargy. He'll cross the floor. Now to Owen Eckert, left side. Eckert will head back to the far side, and that's going to just about do it for this one. Lots of credit to be given to the Nanaimo Timbermen team. They had a lot of call-ups, and they gave Coquitlam a run for their money in the first half of this game. But the back-to-back Minto Cup champions respond. Following a tough loss to Poco on Friday, they bounce back with a big win, defeating Nanaimo 10-4 tonight at the Palace on Poirier. And they will go to congratulate goaltender Owen Byers before lining up at center floor. As a great effort given once again by the Nanaimo Timbermen. But it is the Coquitlam Adanacs defeating the Nanaimo Timbermen by a 10-4 final score. Your shots on goal in the third period of play. We will get to those in just a bit. By Coquitlam 23, by Nanaimo 4 for a three-period total. By Coquitlam 69, by Nanaimo 34. So pure domination from the Coquitlam Adanacs in that third period of play. 23-4 were the shots on goal. And a valiant effort for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Ends with a defeat of the Nanaimo Timbermen. Of course, Coquitlam would outscore Nanaimo 6-0 in the third period of play. We'll also get to your Impact Canopy 3 stars of the game in just a moment as well. But first, we shall get to your Metro Safety moment of the game. Your Metro Safety moment of the game will belong to number 34, Ethan Gordon, with his second goal of the game, which sent Nanaimo to a timeout. As that sent Nanaimo to a timeout, and for Coquitlam, definitely a confidence booster for Coquitlam and Ethan Gordon in his first game as a Coquitlam Adanac. So a great awareness and a great offensive play there by Ethan Gordon, which will be your Metro Safety moment of the game. Time now for your Impact Canopy 3 stars of the game. Your third star from the Coquitlam Adanacs, number 6, Owen Eckert, a 2-goal night for the defender for the Coquitlam Adanacs. He was strong on both ends of the floor all night long, and that helped spark the Adanacs comeback and, of course, the dominance in the third. Your second star for the Coquitlam Adanacs, number 7, Nate Chalmers, who continues his great offensive season. 1 goal, but multiple setups for Nate Chalmers, and from his setups, he was a major catalyst in Coquitlam's 6-goal third-period outburst. Your first star from the Coquitlam Adanacs, number 8, Miles Archbold. A hat-trick for Archbold, the difference maker, as the Adanacs pulled away. And for Miles Archbold, he finished with a hat-trick. Honorable mention for Nanaimo's Tyson Fontana, scored both of Nanaimo's goals in the first 2 periods, and he scored a couple of Nanaimo's goals in the opening periods. He remained the most dangerous threat throughout for the Nanaimo Timbermen. Those are your 3 stars of the game presented by Impact Canopy. So the Coquitlam Adanacs dominate the third period. They pull away for a convincing 10-4 win in front of their home crowd here at the Palace on Poirier. A tight back-and-forth battle through 2 periods of play. And after that, Coquitlam explodes for 6 unanswered goals in the third to blow the game wide open. Of course, the game in the second period ended at 4-4, but third period was 6-0 for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Again, leading scorer Miles Archbold, a hat-trick. Owen Eckert had 2 goals. Nate Chalmers, a goal, multiple assists. Parker Kennedy, lots of assists as well. Ethan Gordon, 2 goals in his Adanac debut. Kai Hartley had a big goal in the third frame as well. Strong efforts from Nanaimo's Tyson Fontana, Jaden Thomas, Connor Nanowski, Rylan Mon, and Thomas Young. But in the end, it was Coquitlam's depth and their finishing, which finally clicked in the third after generating chances all game. Credit to Nanaimo. They showed lots of fight, lots of character for 40 minutes, especially coming off yesterday's emotional win. But in the end, perhaps the fatigue catching up to the Nanaimo Timbermen in that final period. Nanaimo 1 for 1 on the power play. Coquitlam's and for Nanaimo, they scored the power play goal. Only 2 minor penalties in the entire game, so it was clean up-tempo lacrosse for most of the game. For both of these teams now, taking a look at the schedule ahead, the Nanaimo Timbermen will be back in action a week from now, next Sunday, as they head to Queen's Park Arena for a 2 o'clock opening face-off against the New West Salmon Bellies. And so we'll see how they use the full week of rest to try and prepare for next Sunday. Meanwhile, for the Coquitlam Adanacs, they are back in action on Friday, July the 3rd, for a 7 o'clock opening face-off against the number 2 team as it stands in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League, the Langley Thunder. And they will be on the road next weekend as well for a 3:30 opening face-off on Saturday, July the 4th, against the Victoria Shamrock. So a busy weekend coming up next week for head coach Pat Coyle's team. So the Coquitlam Adanacs bounce back after a tough loss on Friday to the Poco Saints and respond the only way they know how, as champions, defeating the Nanaimo Timbermen. After a close game, they were able to pull away and walk away with a 10-4 win. They outshoot Nanaimo by 30 plus as well, outscore them by 6. It's going to wrap it up for our coverage of this afternoon's contest. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon for another edition of Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse here on Junior Adanacs TV. For our entire crew here with Trickshot, Theo in the producer's chair, Matthew up on camera. This is your Garage Lully saying so long from the Palace on Poirier. I'll talk to you again next week when the Coquitlam Adanacs return home on Friday to face the Langley Thunder. You have been watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanacs TV, powered by Trickshot. So long from Coquitlam.